Him and I spoke when I had last saw him, and he said he was wanting to do it when we had golfed together in like April or May.
Months before anyone knew, Travis Kelce had already made up his mind. While fans were busy guessing whether the Kansas City Chiefs star and Taylor Swift were the real deal, Travis was quietly laying the foundation for one of the most talked about proposals in pop culture. But the way it all came together, and the secrets behind it, aren't as simple as they look on the surface. From private conversations on the golf course to speculation about hidden timelines, this engagement story is filled with details that fans are only now beginning to piece together. What most people don't realize is that Travis Kelce wasn't acting on impulse when he asked Taylor to marry him. According to comedian Andrew Santino, who spoke on the Pardon My Take podcast, Travis had already been thinking about the proposal way back in April or May, months before the world had even started speculating.
Him and I spoke when I had last saw him, and he said he was wanting to do it when we had golfed together in like April or May, and yeah, said he was doing it, but he didn't say when. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I don't pry.
The two were golfing together when Travis casually mentioned he was planning to do it. He didn't share an exact date. He didn't drop hints about how it would happen, but the idea was already firmly planted. This wasn't some sudden decision sparked by headlines or public pressure. It was something he'd been quietly preparing for, in his own way, while still keeping the details under wraps. Even close friends who knew the plan didn't know when it would actually happen. And for someone living under the constant microscope of NFL fans and Swifties alike, that level of secrecy is impressive. But keeping something this big under the radar wasn't easy, and it led to rumors that the real story might be more complicated than it seems. When Andrew Santino retold the story, what stood out wasn't just that Travis had planned the proposal months earlier, it was how carefully he avoided giving anything away. He mentioned it casually, almost offhand, but never revealed a timeline or a location. Even to his closest friends, Travis kept things vague. That secrecy is rare in today's world, where one slip in a group chat can end up fueling headlines within hours. And yet, fans were already busy forming their own theories online. Some insisted the engagement had to be a carefully staged publicity stunt, designed to dominate the NFL and pop charts at the same time. Others believed it was timed to line up perfectly with Taylor's tour dates and media appearances. No one knew for sure, and that only made people speculate more. But behind the whispers and rumors, there's another side of the story, one that points straight to Taylor Swift herself.
I highly doubt it, dude. I don't think I got that invite. You know she's controlling that guest list. I'm not on that list,
You don't
dude.
think so?
Oh, dude. I'm not
you
on
and
that
Killer
list.
Trav?
Trav's my boy. I love him to death. I highly doubt. Look, I will say this. I played golf with my old man 2 days ago, and we FaceTimed him and to say congrats. And, look, maybe I'll catch a bachelor party invite.
For a couple like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, timing isn't just romantic, it's strategic. Reports claim that Taylor didn't want any engagement news to overshadow the busiest stretch of her era's tour. With packed stadiums, a global audience, and relentless press coverage, adding a surprise engagement could have distracted from the narrative she had carefully built around her music. Fans also speculated that the timing had a lot to do with Travis's NFL schedule. With the Chiefs gearing up for another season, the engagement announcement in August landed perfectly, just before football dominated every headline. It meant the story could live at the intersection of sports and pop culture, boosting both of their spotlights without stepping on each other's careers. And if there's one thing people know about Taylor Swift, it's that she doesn't leave her story in someone else's hands. Whether it's music releases, breakups, or major life moments, she has a reputation for controlling how and when her narrative is revealed. To fans, this engagement was no different. But the proposal itself wasn't the only thing people wanted to know about. The next big question quickly became, who would actually be allowed inside the wedding of the decade? As soon as news of the engagement broke, the internet exploded with one question. Who's getting an invite? When Andrew Santino joked that he probably wouldn't make the cut, it hit on a truth everyone was already thinking about. This wedding won't just be about vows, it'll be about who's sitting in the front row. Taylor Swift has always kept a tight circle, and the idea of her controlling every name on the guest list makes perfect sense. Fans are already predicting appearances from her closest squad members. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Gigi Hadid, while others wonder if Hollywood A-listers or even past collaborators will get the nod. On the sports side, speculation swirls about which of Travis's teammates might show up, and whether the Chiefs' locker room will turn into an unofficial extension of the reception. The sheer exclusivity of the guest list has turned it into a talking point almost as big as the engagement itself. For many fans, the question isn't whether the wedding will be private. It's how many celebrities will try to get in and how many will be left out. But the wedding isn't the only event on people's minds. If Travis is known for his larger-than-life personality, then you can imagine what kind of attention his bachelor party rumors are already stirring up. If the wedding is expected to be star-studded, then the bachelor party has the potential to be legendary. Andrew Santino even joked that while he doubted he'd get a wedding invitation, there might still be a chance he could slide into the bachelor party lineup. That comment alone sent fans into overdrive, imagining what kind of celebration Travis might plan. Some predict a classic Las Vegas blowout, complete with casinos, clubs, and celebrity appearances. Others believe Travis might prefer something more private and exclusive, far away from the constant eyes of paparazzi. Given his personality, though, confident, outgoing, larger than life, the Vegas theory seems hard to ignore. What makes it even more intriguing is the balance he'd need to strike. Travis is engaged to one of the most visible women in the world, and any misstep at a bachelor party would be instantly magnified by tabloids. That tension between wanting to let loose and knowing the world is watching has fans buzzing with theories about what he'll actually do. But while the speculation over parties and guest lists dominates online chatter, the engagement itself sparked a wave of reactions that revealed just how divided people are over this relationship. The engagement news hit like a tidal wave. Swifties dissected every photo, every ring detail, every tiny clue they thought pointed to when and where Travis proposed. Some were overjoyed, calling it the perfect fairy tale ending to months of romance in the public eye. Others weren't convinced. Rumors immediately surfaced online claiming the relationship was more about headlines than love. Conspiracy threads popped up suggesting it was a calculated PR move, fuel for both the NFL and Taylor's global tour. On social media, debates raged. Was it real, or was it just another carefully crafted storyline? Of course, there were also whispers about what really happened behind the scenes. Fans speculated about the exact location of the proposal, whether it was tied to certain milestones in Taylor's career, and even whether the engagement ring had hidden symbolism only the couple knew about. But the speculation didn't end with fans. Media outlets joined the frenzy, publishing conflicting reports and fueling even more curiosity. And through it all, Travis and Taylor stayed silent, letting the world argue while they kept the real details to themselves. Still, whether people believed the engagement was staged or sincere, one thing was certain: it had put both of their careers into an even brighter spotlight. For Travis Kelce, the engagement instantly elevated him beyond the football field. He's always been a star in the NFL, but now he's part of a pop culture phenomenon that stretches far outside of sports. Suddenly, every game he plays isn't just about touchdowns. It's about whether Taylor will be spotted in the stands, and that crossover attention has made him one of the most talked about athletes in the world. For Taylor Swift, the timing was equally powerful. At the height of her Eras tour, she was already dominating headlines, but the engagement gave fans something new to obsess over between shows. It added another layer to her story, no longer just about music, but about love, commitment, and a future with one of the NFL's biggest names. Critics argue that the attention risks overshadowing their actual work, turning both of them into a media spectacle instead of letting their individual achievements shine. But others see it differently. Together, they've become a power couple that blends music, sports, and celebrity culture in a way few others ever have. And if this much attention surrounds the engagement itself, then the wedding could become one of the biggest media events of the decade. From a casual golf course conversation to a carefully timed public reveal, Travis Kelce's proposal to Taylor Swift has become more than just a love story. It's a cultural event. We've seen how Travis quietly set his plan in motion months before anyone suspected, how Taylor may have influenced the timing to fit her world tour, and how friends like Andrew Santino gave fans a rare glimpse behind the curtain. But beyond the romance, this engagement has stirred up rumors, speculation, and endless debates. Some fans celebrate it as the fairy tale ending they always hoped for, while others remain convinced there's more strategy than sincerity. Either way, the fascination isn't slowing down. And if the engagement alone can spark this much drama, attention, and speculation, just imagine the frenzy when the wedding day finally arrives. Will it be private and carefully guarded, or will it become the most star-studded event of the decade? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. When it comes to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the world will be watching every step of the way.